Welcome to the Next 10 event. Now introducing our guest speaker, Kwasi Adu Poku.
Okay. Yo, honestly, the first thing I want to say, I want to shout out Chris and Brian because I won't cap, like, when you public speak, especially when you have to go for like 15 minutes, like some of you see it, I got this pink thing right here, some of my speaking notes. Scene man's, just going off the dome like that. I just want people to clap it up for that because it takes a lot sometimes. It takes a lot of time, but I'm gonna ask the next question. I'm gonna ask 3 questions before I really get into it. The first one is like, how are people doing? Just blurt it out. Okay, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm good, but at the same time, I'm very tired. And I feel like for a lot of us, especially, a group of you that are thinking about the next 10 years of your life, you probably had a lot of moments, where you've told people you're good, but you just continue to find ways to keep it pushing and you do what you need to do. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm just gonna talk about, how you could adjust a bit of your mindset in ways that kind of help you actually get the things you want to do done in the next 10 years. So to start that, I'm just gonna ask another question before I really dive into things. But we're talking about the next 10 years, but right now I want you to kind of tap back into your childhood and just think about things there for a second. This is what I'm gonna ask. I saw the mixed reactions. Some people are like, so I'm here for therapy, and I don't know, but when you were younger and you were asked, to clean the living room, did you actually clean the living room or did you make it look clean? And I want people to be honest. I want people to make it look clean? Okay, we made it look clean. So you cleaned it. So you were serious. Okay. Yo, everyone, what's your name again? Pardon? Allie? Okay, everyone clap for Allie, because when I was a kid, I was not doing that. I was nasty. I was not doing But then, okay, for when we all got older, did we still make it look clean or did we clean? Okay, and my answer to that is, the reason we did that is because whether we were younger, whether we were older, we were doing what we thought we needed to do to get the job done. Because honestly, when I was a kid, my mom wanted to beat my ass, so I just made it look clean. But now as an adult, I'm realizing that I gotta take care of this or else it's gonna come back to me in some way. If I don't brush up the cheese off my floor, Tom and Jerry are about to come and have a time. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm just gonna do a bit of storytelling and, touch on moments of my past that really helped me realize how I could adjust, the bare minimum of what I do so I could actually position myself to, not have things come back to me. And I'm gonna touch on how, your motivations, your habits, and your rest are 3 ways that you could actually, find ways to kind of just streamline things in your life, because the next 10, we're having great session, we're having great dialogue. It's largely about us just thinking about, the futures we want. And I'm here to add that, mental health lens, because I know how it feels to be very driven. I know how it feels to push yourself, especially the fact that we're all here on what day is it? I asked someone already. I forget all the time. I'm buzzed. We're here on a Thursday night. I know a lot of you are probably running on fumes, but you're here because you're thinking about your future self. These are the kind of things that, 10 years from now you look back at and you're like, it's the habits like these I built that, got me where I'm at, that got me that early retirement, got me that vacation, got me that, living in Costa Rica and things. So, but when I think about even me, I know for me, like I said, I played basketball as a student athlete, and something a lot of people don't know is that it's basically like a full-time job in uni. Like, you're traveling all the time. It's not just having a cool backpack and people know you. It's like the coach's livelihood literally depends on how you perform. So a lot of mental health challenges come with that. And I know for me, I was still trying to do my thing academically. I was still trying to get involved in my community. I was literally trying to grow a business at the time, but I needed to start going to things like therapy because I just realized that I couldn't take it all anymore. But as I grew from that, it actually helped me, create that foundation to have a business speaking to all of you like I do now. Therapy actually helped me realize some of the things that motivated me in life, which actually got me to do my master's, for example, which positioned me to work full-time in the government. And now that I'm working full-time in the government, I'm balancing my business and thinking about how I'm gonna make time for things, and even thinking about what my life may look like 10 years from now. But I realized that I wouldn't have, gotten the things I got then I literally wouldn't be here talking to you amazing people if, I was literally 6 months short, and I was almost 6 months short in high school of actually being able, to get into that university program that I didn't realize would change my life. And for that, I'm just gonna do another flashback. As I mentioned, I was a varsity athlete and I kind of had that experience, but that was never really in the cards for me growing up, because when I was about 12 years old, I suffered a very traumatic accident where the surgeon told me, like, if you had gotten surgery a day later, you probably wouldn't have been able to walk properly again for the rest of your life. So my brother convinced me to play basketball. For some reason, I felt like that was my way of showing people that anything's possible if you apply yourself. And, thank you, appreciate it. But I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. In high school, for most of it, I sucked. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't say it then, but I could be honest now. But by the time I got to grade 12, I still had no offers. No one was really looking at me. My grades weren't even where I needed them to be. I just did what I did so similar to cleaning as a kid, so my mom didn't beat my ass. You know what I mean? I was trying to get by. I actually took a 5th year, and that's when the magic started happening. I started having many great games. I started having like all those 20-point, 30-point, whatever kind of games. I was starting to take school a little bit seriously, but not seriously enough. And I actually started getting offers. And someone approached me and said, have you ever heard of McMaster University? As you could all probably tell, I say goofy things. Like, my intrusive thoughts, they defeat me sometimes. And I was like, is that a cheeseburger? Like, cause I didn't know. I didn't really do my research, but that's where I ended up playing basketball. But they told me straight up, if you don't get your grades up your average up by 6, you're not gonna be able to come here. So I know y'all probably watch Disney or Family XD, depending on how old you are growing up, but my least favorite kind of episodes were those ones where it starts off with the character, let's say it's like That's So Raven or something. Like, Raven and all her friends are about to, travel for summer vacation, and then cause Raven just did something stupid, like, next thing you know, the whole episode is her like doing the most to make sure that she can go on the vacation. And that was basically me trying to make sure that I could get my grades up by 6 in basically 2 months, just so I could actually get the scholarship to go. So long story short, I did it. I got the scholarship, but from that moment I realized I never want to be in a situation again where, just cruising by could close doors that I had been working towards my whole life. And when I think about all of you here in the next 10 years, there's a lot of things you're working towards. There's a lot of goals you have. There's a lot of things to see. There's even a lot of things that you could achieve that you may not even realize are on your horizon yet. But, if you don't adjust to your bare minimum, if you keep, cruising in certain ways, you may close those doors by the time you're ready to receive them. And that's why right now I just wanted to leave you with 3 quick takeaways. Because I try to keep it simple. I said in the start, it's motivations, habits, and rest. Like some of you, I did my undergrad in kinesiology, and I don't really use that shit no more. I don't know. I feel like a lot of us go to school, it's good, we learn a lot, and then you're just forcing it in conversation. But I'm gonna apply it right now. I think motivation is one of the biggest things that all of us can think about, because everyone here right now has their own kind of motivations. I know the science behind it because I learned it for 5 years. There's intrinsic and there's extrinsic. Does anyone know the difference? I can educate still. Intrinsic motivation is basically when you're motivated to do things for the sake of doing them. It's proven to be the most consistent form of motivation. It's proven to be the most sustainable. It's literally like people who go to the gym because they, like the idea of getting better. They like to push themselves. They like to see their limits. That's intrinsic motivation, when you fall in love with things just for the sake of doing them. And then, on the real side too, there's extrinsic motivation, that external motivation where, that same person who go to the gym because they like going to the gym, they're also going there because they want to look good. So, they can say, yeah, I work out. There's that source of external motivation. So for all of you, I'm really encouraging you to figure out what motivates you and how you could apply that to making sure you can get the job done with whatever it is you need to do. Because I know for me, one form of external motivation I have, for example, I didn't come from much growing up. I don't know who knows Toronto the best, but I born in Rexdale, grew up in Jane and Finch, and I've seen a lot of things. So I'm motivated constantly to improve my life because I think about how my life began. So I'd really encourage you, just think about what motivates you and let that kind of carry you, because when you can find the energy to get things done, it makes the difference. But the second point, which is also very important, are your habits. And I know we've probably heard about it. Some of us have probably heard about that book, Atomic Habits. It's a solid book, but I realized that you could have all the motivation in the world, but your habits are kind of like that autopilot that actually helps you, take care of things when you're not in the mood to do it. Because I know even here, one thing that I've gotten the habit of is I've learned to directly face the things that scare me the most. And I don't know why I'm defaulting to the gym. I feel like maybe it's because I'm nervous. That's what I default to a lot of times to cope with things. But when I go to work out, for example, I don't really like doing squats sometimes. But I know that's the first thing I'm going to do when I'm at the gym. I'm going to push myself the most there so I can kind of get it out of the way. And I just realized when you push yourself to do the things that scare you the most, you continue to open doors and you continue to thank yourself because, that thing's out of the way. So with habits, my main takeaway for you is just like, in the next 10 years of your life, that's the 5-minute one, right? I didn't, you told me and I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the reason I'm talking about habits is just the fact that, you could be motivated, but you just need to have a system that can carry you through when you're too tired to really have the motivation. Because right now, I'm like I said, a lot of you came here to these kind of events. For some of you, this isn't your first networking event because you've gotten the habit of pushing yourself. A couple weeks, days, months, years down the line, this habit you continue to develop is going to pay dividends for you in the future. And that's, in terms of dividends for the future and enjoying the fruits of our labor, that brings me to my last point, which is just rest. Because I don't know about all of you, but I've just realized that, you could have all the energy and motivation in the world. You could have all the habits that'll carry you places when you're dead tired, but, if you don't take the time to take care of yourself, you could get where you want to be, but you're going to be too tired to even enjoy what you've been working towards. Because I remember when I was in my last year of undergrad, appreciate that. When I was in my last year of undergrad, I basically won this thing called the President's Award of like Student Excellence and Leadership. It was like, I'm a master. Yeah. Appreciate it. It was basically like one of the most prestigious awards a student could get at the time. And I got the Athlete of the Year award at the same time. And I was like one of the first athletes to do that. And it was like a big accomplishment, but thank you, appreciate it. But if I can be real with y'all, I don't know if any of you ever seen that picture of Kobe when he had the championship, and I was just like, I couldn't even do it. My knees are getting bad. That's what all the hooping did to me. But as I got the announcements that I got these awards, I just remember feeling so sad that I felt so tired that I couldn't even be amped. I was literally just like, when will it end? And that's when I, really started reminding myself that, I have dreams, I have things I want to work towards, but what's the point if I'm going to be too burnt out to really feel it? So one thing I leave with all of you is, I'm not just saying rest, but there's different kinds of rest. So as we all know, there's physical rest when you're tired. You sleep on your bed or your couch or whatever, and you wake up and there's drool on the side of your lip. That's one kind of rest. There's also that social type of rest where you come to spaces like this where, you see people and then your life suddenly has meaning again because, we're meant to connect with people. Then there's, it's true though, you know what I'm talking about, right? And then there's other kinds of rest where for some people it's, kicking up, watching Netflix, watching your favorite show. You know what I'm talking about. For others, it's like playing your favorite video game, watching your favorite show. It's going on a long bike ride. The reason I'm saying all these ideas is just, I don't know what it looks like for you, but when I think about rest, I just think about understanding what you need to rejuvenate yourself because, like I said, I don't know what all your motivations are. I don't know what all your goals are, but I just really hope that by the time you get where you've been working towards, you just have the energy to really enjoy what you've been putting so much time into. So if I could say one concluding message, I see you flinching, so I'm almost done. I was there. I just really encourage you, similar to me and how I may not have even had the opportunity to speak to you because I was 6 marks short. But I worked my way up. I just really encourage you to, adjust your bare minimum with the 3 things I said so that a lot of the doors that are gonna keep finding you, you'll be able to step into because you've already done the work to get into them. You've already adjusted your standards so that by the time they're there, you know, you're already ready. So, you know, I don't know what the next 10 will look like for all of us, but I just hope that we all continue to take care of ourselves along the way. And that's all I got to say for now. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.